right, so I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pull this together in time, but I did. So I threw together a top 10 and 10 for this week. So you guys know by now we're going to do top 10 comics in 10 minutes. These are not always necessarily the hottest books. In many cases they are, but they're just 10 interesting comic books that I felt like talking about for this week. And we're going to do it in 10 minutes. So
That's funny,
we are
BK.
going to start this very shortly.
All right, let's go.
All right, I got to find the thingy. I got to find my countdown
All right,
clock.
give it 1 second. I want to see what's in Dubs. Hold on.
He's talking about that.
Hold on. We got you, Dub. Oh, nice.
What are we talking about?
Oh, very nice.
We were doing an 80s theme, so you got to, it's all my 80s
Oh, I see all the
toys back there.
the ROM, the turtles back there. Voltron.
Right.
I got a Voltron. You got that looks like an old school Voltron. I got
It
the new
is the old school. The Ultraman and Giant Robot back there. Gotcha, man.
When am I coming over to your house to steal that Voltron?
Yeah, I don't know. You got to. It's too far of a drive for you, man.
I know.
You don't
You
come
know
to the east side.
I am looking though. Hey, if anybody's got the Baxter, what's his name from the Turtles?
Baxter Stockman.
Baxter Stockman, the original.
The Fly.
Yeah, let me know. My son broke his, so I'm trying to get him a new one. Loose is fine. I don't need it in package. But let me know. Somebody has one. All right, go ahead.
All right, I'll start the clock. Now we have 10 minutes, and we're going to roll through, starting with our big ticket item, and we're going to go with a CGC 9.0 Fantastic Four, number 48. You guys know this book. All right, for Silver Surfer, $10,700 on this sale, which actually isn't high in any way. It's actually down a bit, which is kind of what I want to talk about. If you look at it, and back in August, one of these in the same grade sold for $16,500, and then this one sold for $10,700.
Yeah, we put it up and it sold for 16. We did this book when it sold for 16 in August.
Yeah,
yeah.
Look at that. The sale now it's down for whatever reason.
It's going to settle. I think it'll settle in that 12, 14.
I don't know. 9.0. It's tough when you get into the oddball grades of the minutia of the, the different levels, but it just caught my eye. That's why I put it out here.
See what type of 9.0 it was too. I wonder what type of 9.0 it was.
Well,
Batman. All right,
it did all right, but it is a dip. It is a little bit of a price dip from where it had been before. Another big sale, 9.6 of this Hush, the Batman 608, the RRP, the Jim Lee cover, this ghost of a book that people have been hunting for. 9.6 sold, and it sold for a healthy $7,900 in a 9.6, which is an all-time high for this grade.
That's good.
Yep. That's an old label too.
Yeah, this, at $7,900. This is definitely higher than back in 2021 was the last 9.6 sale at $3,300. So more than doubled the last sale. But granted, it was over a year ago, well, a year and a half. So a lot of time to gain that ground. But still, 9.6, $8,000 almost.
That's 2016-17 label. Is that which label it is? That's after the Warp label, right?
I don't know. That one looks a little wavy.
No, the book's warped. The two before this, the book's warped. You gotta be careful on those CGC, those early CGC ones.
Well, going into the news from yesterday, when we got the announcement of Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman teaming to do a Deadpool 3, that's caused a lot of books to sell in the last day or two. And so in the last 2 days, basically, not even 2 days, we'll say a day and a half, because it hasn't even really been that much time. But Wolverine 88 has decided to just start selling like crazy. And these aren't even the high prices. This is kind of the average of Raw going for like $130 in the higher grades. And you saw 9.8 sold for $600, basically, with over 200 sales since yesterday.
Sell them fast. Sell them fast.
This thing is selling fast.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, this is way better. Like, this is great right here. Over 200 sales. You're selling for 100 and some. Nice.
It moved quickly, and this is obviously a price bump from where it had been, because
you guys
go back just a week or so.
Wasted money. You guys could have bought this book and given it to somebody. They would have got a thumbs up on fucking
$15, $20, under about $30. These are all September 23rd, 24th sales. You can find this for much cheaper. I was finding this still thing in dollar bins not that long ago. Still, granted, maybe not be 9.8 copies, but you could still find this thing if you go digging.
Mm-hmm.
Wolverine was heavily printed because you can see with over 200 plus sales in a day, this book isn't hard to find. People can find this book and they can sell it when they know they have it.
Yeah, and look at all those spine ticks you can sell too.
Yep. So it's not the only book. You also got Wolverine 155, which, granted, he shows up in 154 as well, but this is the better cover. So this is also one that's been selling now about $60, $200.98, and it's a price bump over where it was again about a week ago in the $15 to $25 range. So all of these Deadpool Wolverine type crossovers are starting to move these days. Well, not these days, this past day. Including, oh, why did I duplicate this? Sorry, my bad. I duplicated this page for some reason. New Mutants 98 also, I mean, it's still first Deadpool for whatever it's worth. As many copies as are out there. Look, raw copy sold for $550 today.
I gotta get rid of the rest of these.
$550 raw
today. Like fourth bite at this apple, man. This is awesome.
And this is, again, they're selling it as near mint, pretty nice grade. You can see it's a nice copy, but still $550. And then copies again on the 19th we're selling for best offer on $330. So
we can finally sell the 9.6s. We, like the last couple times this book has popped, you couldn't sell 9.6. You could only sell 9.8s.
Yeah, you might be able to. 9.6s are not a dirty word anymore.
Right. That's what I'm asking. Do you still?
So maybe.
Nice.
Maybe this run is the time. This could be the time. And we're going to go back to last week. We didn't have a top 10 and 10 last week, so some of these books might kind of touch on last week a little bit too. And the Constantine with Keanu Reeves coming back for a sequel decided to start pushing this book again. So Swamp Thing 37 is selling for
Swamp Thing 37.
Love a decent amount again. I mean, it had been selling for a decent amount, but we're talking like almost $300 raw now.
Oh shit!
Wow, really? $2,000 at a 9.8. And there's, granted, 40 plus sales isn't a ton of sales, but it's still a decent amount for the last week, considering, again, this was news from like 2 weeks ago. Like this news of the Constantine thing was like a week from last Friday. So book's still moving. And then we got this announcement. Remember when the Don Cheadle selling Rogues Gallery? This started hitting top 10 lists last week. And yeah, look how quickly indie books go. How quickly the indie bubble bursts, I guess. I mean, it's only like $9, $8 right now. It's like that's basically double cover. Like,
dude, people are paying their rent with that $8.
It came out like 2 months
minus
ago.
Fees.
What's that?
Minus the fees.
Yeah, minus the fees.
Minus the fees. Minus the cost of the book.
Yeah,
$6.40.
Where it was last week, it was like $20 or $30 for two. Like this thing was one of those Wednesday Warrior type books. People were going out in their shops, picking up and flipping it for their $4, turn it into 20. But now you're taking your $4 to turn it into 8.
Yeah, and they probably
price dip already, and it hasn't even been a week. These things die so quickly now. Yeah. But whatever. Just be careful what you're investing in. That's all. Werewolf by Night. I'm still looking forward to this. I mean, getting good reviews. It's got great Rotten Tomatoes scores already because they previewed it. It's supposed to be pretty dark. So Werewolf by Night, first appearance.
No, Dom said it wasn't dark at all. He said it's all jokes.
No, it is a dark comedy, but apparently the black and white kept it from getting a TVMA rating because you don't see the blood, I guess, in red. It's black and white.
No, Dom said.
I know, but I'm just telling you. And you can see here, 450, 430 raw. And these are like fine copies. These aren't like 9.8 contenders in any way. These are like mid grades, and it's now hitting over $400 in that grade where, granted, it was like $300. So for that similar grade the week before, the prices, if you go check the eBay, you're going to see a lot of very good, some poor copies, some beat to shit copies selling for $100 to $200. But what I'm talking about is that mid grade level, trying to apples this. It's still getting a little bit of a bump as people get excited. We got a week. We're a week out.
I'm excited. I told you, great quarter to have. Great quarter for television right now. I mean, it is.
It's only a one-time special, but we'll see. This will make Darth Lopez happy. This is just kind of an interesting sale. There's 1 in 25 for Excalibur 18. This Daughterman variant, raw copy sold for $375 with 21 bids this week. So 1 in 25. I thought it was notable because there are no other sales the last 3 months of this book. So This thing doesn't come up very often. It's not that easy to find. It's Excalibur number 18, and it's a.
I know where there's one of these.
What's that?
I know where there's one of these.
Yeah, this was the first one of the, as far as I know, of the Dodderman variants that he did by doing the character with all the different.
Yeah.
First he was doing just X-Men, and now he's branched out. Invisible Woman came out last week. This is yeah.
You should check the guy's store who has a dog in his store.
All right, I'll go with that.
Well, go get it because I like this book. I mean, like I said, it'll make Darth Lopez happy. But I just thought it was an interesting sale because this book ain't easy to find. It doesn't come up often. And speaking of not coming up often, I guess this Ultimate Fallout 4, the variant, the Jurdovic variant, it sold for $10,000 raw this week, which I thought was interesting considering not that long ago you could buy a 9.6 for $9,200. So that's a bold gamble to spend $10,000 on a raw book when a 9.6 is going to lose you money.
That was a buy it now?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Straight up buy it now. I double checked the other side I used to make sure there was no best offer. It was that was the price they took. So
wow.
For all that I know, it looks like they took the 10.
Why does it smell like the streets of Brooklyn?
It's I don't know. It is what it is. But I think we made it with 5 seconds left. Until next week, that was our top 10 in 10.